This week is a very important week. It's the world celebration of the World Breastfeeding Day. And here in Kenya, we are celebrating this. Rongo University, Migori County. I woke up a bit early, so my eyes are looking a bit puffy. But I thought it would be important for those who will not be joining us in Rongo University. I just tell you what this means and why we are celebrating this day as the world marks World Breastfeeding Week. In fact, it's 1st of August to the 5th of August. And the theme for this year's week, World Breastfeeding Week, is prioritize breastfeeding, create sustainable support systems. I just want to take you back, but before that, let me talk about breastfeeding, which remains one of the most effective public health interventions. Remember, as a mother, you're supposed to breastfeed your child for a whole 6 months. Therefore, breastfeeding becomes one of the best intervention for a child's nutrition. And in this, because it provides all the nutrients, it strengthens the immunity and cognitive development of a child. Remember, as a child is growing, we will need to improve and enhance the cognitive growth and development. It reduces the risk of obesity and NCDs. This is later in life. And also, if you look at it critically, you will realize that breastfeeding is very critical because it is environmentally sustainable, requiring no packaging, no fuel or waste management. So when we are doing breastfeeding, we don't need to fuel like a car so that it can start the engine, and it is also sustainable. Therefore, it is important. This day is very, very important for the way we are celebrating the week, not even the day. But we have picked this 5th of August to ensure that we celebrate this week at the peak. See you in Rongo University today. However, in 2022, if I may talk about statistics, the Kenya Demographic and Health Survey, it showed some very, very worrying trends in this issue of breastfeeding. And one of it showed that 62% early initiation to breastfeeding, when the early initiation to breastfeeding dropped significantly from 2014 at 62% to 2022 at 60%. And we can see exclusive breastfeeding rates declined also from 61% to 60%. So exclusive breastfeeding, people have started using the bottled milk to give to their children, and initiating the children to early breastfeeding had also reduced, and bottle feeding has increased significantly from 22% to 34%. You can imagine we have stopped breastfeeding, and we express the milk, we put it in the fridge, and we wait for the children to be to take it from the bottle. So these trends demands urgent and coordinated actions. We need to rethink what is it that we need to do to promote, to protect, and to support breastfeeding. And the Ministry of Health is not sitting pretty thinking about it. We are enhancing the enforcement of breast milk substitutes. And that's an act which was established in 2012. We are also expanding the baby-friendly hospital initiatives and baby-friendly community initiative. And this is being led with over 1,500 community health units that are already implementing it. We have established the human milk banks, such as the one at Pumwani Maternity Hospital. And remember, in every other place, if you're an employer, you're supposed to set up a mother and child space where the mother, even when she is working, she can be able to take breaks to go and breastfeed. And that is according to the Health Act of 2017, Section 71, that employers are required to establish lactation stations in all the workplaces and equipping with clean and private space for breastfeeding. The Act also requires that flexible nursing breaks be provided for lactating employees without loss of remuneration or benefits. When you go for maternity, you're not supposed to be deducted the money or your salary. You're actually supposed to be, these are compassionate time. So the Employment Act provides for 3 months, that is 90 days, for women, paid maternity, and 2 weeks for paid paternity leave for male employees. So these are just but some of the things that must be effected. And I think as a country, we have a duty, as a ministry, we have a duty to ensure that these laws are followed and these policies are equally implemented. So, these legal provisions are very critical to ensuring that mothers can successfully breastfeed while they return to work after expiry of their maternity leave. So, as we are still on this week of World Breastfeeding Week, I want us to support mothers to breastfeed by building enabling environments in our homes, in our communities, in our workplaces. Create spaces for them. Create environments for them, for the mothers, so that they are able to breastfeed their children comfortably. Promote breastfeeding because it is life-saving. Climate smart practices must also be adhered to, and protect breastfeeding from commercial interference and misinformation. There are those people who may be selling bottles for feeding, and they may want to actually increase on their sales. So there's a lot of misinformation, and especially to us women. When you think about your structural space, that if you breastfeed too much, I don't know what is going to happen. Please, those are myths. Make sure your child gets what is required. and what they deserve. Yes, so Aluku Aaron, habari. Stephen Wakirugumi, nimepokea salamu. Sonia Daniel, thank you very much. Please, can you send a text message to me? Sonia, where do I send a text message to you? Constant Munjalu, don't forget to come for my graduation. Invite me, like Laikipia University. I will come. Josephat Mugambi, asante sana. Martin Munga, asante sana. Josephat Mugambi again. Ani mwingine. Gladys Meshare, asante sana. This is the only space we get information about health. And because I'm on the road, it is important to engage you. Robert Moreithi, asante sana. Irongo wa Mwangi, asante sana. J. Luke, asante sana. Kamba Insights, hello katibu. Niko mzima kabisa. Niko karibu kuja Ukambani, by the way. I have an assignment that I'm coming to do Ukambani very, very soon. Honorable Bravin Kiprop, Cyril Kiplagat, Irongo wa Mwangi, nimefurahia sana kupatana na nyinyi leo asubuhi. Ukitaka kujua mambo ya health, and I hope all of you have registered to the Social Health Authority. Remember, my cabinet secretary yesterday launched the biometrics. So we will not be waiting until we get a code coming to our phone so that you can be treated. Unaingia hosi, unaenda unachukuliwa biometrics, and you're treated. And talking of SHA, by the way, guys, please, those hospitals that are called health centers and dispensaries, you are not supposed to pay a dime to be treated, because the government, or His Excellency President William Ruto, has already paid. There is already money that has been budgeted from Treasury to make sure that when you are treated, the facility is given money for your treatment, for your drugs, for your doctors, for your nurses, for your everything. The facility committees are supposed to plan on what they need to do with that money. So I have seen people asking me, why is the outpatient not working? The outpatient is working perfectly well, and especially for those facilities that are following the law. Please, I'm asking also the facility owners, acheni kucharge watu. Treat the people and claim for your money from SHA. So as we celebrate this week of World Breastfeeding Day, World Breastfeeding Week, please ensure you register to SHA. I want to salute the community health promoters, the public health officers across the country who are working very hard to ensure that they do surveillance along our borders so that we reduce the outbreaks or the public health events that we have in the country. Maybe later in the day, I will discuss with you with the number of outbreaks that we are dealing with in the country. And please take care of yourself. Ensure you wash your hands, drink clean and safe water at all times, and make sure that your sanitation is well taken care of. Take care of your environment. Whether you're at home, you're in the office, or you're traveling, always clean your hands. Most of the diseases, by the way, people, inaletwa na uchafu. Na hii uchafu ndio tunataka kutoa kwa manyumba zetu. Uchafu kwa manyumba zetu, kwa maofisi, and anywhere else in public places. The surfaces must be clean. If you look at issues like Mpox is a disease that is contagious. I mean, it's a contact. When you get into contact with an individual, that is when you can get Mpox. Cholera, if you take dirty water, if you take food that is contaminated. Issues to do with diarrhea, issues to do with malaria. Malaria is preventable. And as a country, we are at 6% prevalence. So we can still go down. Mambo ya madawa za kulevya. You know, everything has to be taken in moderation. Everything has to be used in moderation. But I think what is happening in our country today, and especially to the young people, they actually overdo. When they start drinking, they drink from 7 to 7. When they start smoking, vapes, when they start vaping, when they start doing electric cigars, when they start doing porches, they are going to class with porches under their tongue. I mean, people, we must have order. There must be order. And that is why we developed the graphic health warnings. And we are the first ones in Africa. We're the first country in Africa to actually develop graphic health warnings that are touching on the novel products. Because we do not want illicit products to come to our country. I have seen products written for Kenyan market, meaning that product cannot be sold anywhere else in the world. Can you imagine? So what is it that you want to sell to Kenyans, but you don't want to sell to the rest of the world? That's why we are very keen about the novel products, to ensure that we have kept people safe. The cancers we are getting these days is out of the smoking, whether it is secondary smoking or you're the one with primary smoking. Therefore, we need to be very, very careful. Good people, I love you all, and I hope to keep here and keep giving you information as it comes. I have lots and lots of information. Please ask me questions. Inbox me, call me, text me, ask me anything about the Ministry of Health. And these days we don't have Mafia House. It's only health. Tuko tuna Afya House. Tuko na Ministry of Health, because we want each and every person to access quality health care at any given time, whether you go to a private, faith-based, or a public facility. And by the way, do you know that we have developed a quality of health care and patient safety bill? We've just remembered the patient, that the patient is the boss, and the patient has a right. Hatutaki ile kesi yenye watu wanaenda kwa hospitali wanaanza kujichukua mavideo because they are frustrated because somebody somewhere has not done the right thing. We want you to go to a facility, get treated, and ensure that you get the quality healthcare that you deserve without complaints.